Overnight Millionaire. Chapter 3. William looked at the text message notification of the $1 million deposit, his face filled with shock. Could my mother be telling the truth? William suddenly became excited, but he remained rational. He thought to himself, I'll know if I check at an ATM. Why argue when someone paid your rent for you? Do you have money to pay rent? The landlady became unwilling. William owed her 2 months' rent, and now that someone finally paid, she couldn't just give it back. While William and the landlady were arguing loudly, 2 people came out of the room. One of them was William's ex-girlfriend, Madison, and she was holding the arm of her new boyfriend, Daniel. With sunken eye sockets and a pale face, it was evident that excessive indulgence in alcohol had taken its toll. Clearly, he was a spoiled rich kid. They had come here to take Madison's luggage, and they happened to run into the landlady who came to collect the rent. William, stop pretending if you don't have money. Someone paid your rent, and yet you don't appreciate it. You don't even have a job now. Madison rolled her eyes at William, completely despising him. What is there to respect about a man who can't even afford the rent? William sneered and took out $10,000 from his pocket, throwing it onto the landlady's hand, saying calmly, Consider this $10,000 as payment for my owed rent. I told you I don't need anyone else to pay my rent. To the current William, $10,000 was nothing but easy. It was insignificant. When the landlady held a hefty stack of banknotes, both Madison and Daniel were surprised. Madison's mouth even dropped open in disbelief. When did this guy become so generous, paying 2 months' rent with $10,000? Do you need me to teach you how to return it? William reminded calmly. After carefully counting the $10,000, the landlady rubbed it with her fingers, and once she confirmed that they were indeed genuine, she immediately smiled and said, Yes, I know what to do now. Who would have a problem with money? The landlady immediately returned the $3,000 she had received from Daniel back to the young man. Sorry, I have to give you back this $3,000. Daniel felt a lack of dignity, especially in front of his new girlfriend, when his spent money was returned. He was slightly displeased. This person is even better at bragging than me. Daniel completely disregarded William, a poor man, and especially didn't care about this rent. In order to undermine William and show off in front of Madison, Daniel said to Madison beside him, Darling, how about I buy you a house in Oak Bay tomorrow? Some people will never succeed in life if they keep renting. Really? Daniel, you're so good to me. Madison immediately became excited and looked even more disdainful when she looked at William. It was only after comparing that she realized William was truly useless. Do you know how much a house in Oak Bay costs? At least $1.8 million for one. You'll never be able to afford a house in your lifetime, yet you dare to be arrogant in front of me. Daniel mocked William and looked at him with contempt. William, those $10,000 of yours must be borrowed. Now that you're unemployed, I can't imagine what you'll do next. It's lucky I left early, otherwise I would have suffered with you. Madison jeered as well. William frowned but didn't care about their mockery. He remembered that Oak Bay was under the Power Group's real estate, which was his father's asset. The general manager was Anthony, who was going to work as his assistant. With this in mind, William smiled slightly and said, Madison, I hope you won't regret your choice today. Regret? You're thinking too much. Leaving you was the wisest decision I've ever made, Madison said mercilessly. With that, she held onto Daniel's arm tightly, not even looking back, and quickly left the hallway with their luggage. Shaking his head, William no longer cared about Madison. He was more excited about his fiancée, Sophia.